Hi, I'm Peter, and I like to talk about movies. In this COVID 19 world, something I've really missed doing is going to the movie theater. I know this is a very insignificant sacrifice, and there are thousands of people who have lost jobs and stock portfolios and have family members who are dangerously ill, but I'm going to talk about movies, so I'm going to just talk about some of my favorite cinema experiences. The first one that comes to mind is Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones, which is a terrible title. Did the clones really attack anyone in this movie? Not sure. But something that movie did have going for it was the first time Yoda took out his lightsaber. Up until that point, we had only seen Yoda as a snarky walking fortune cookie, and now finally we were going to see him fight. I remember this moment so well because the theater was very quiet and some nerdy, high pitched teenager stood up and shouted, "Kick his ass, Yoda!" And the audience just ate it up with a huge uproar in laughter and applause. The fight itself is fine, but you can never underestimate a good audience reaction. Next movie that comes to mind is X2, X-Men United, another terrible title. Do we really need to clarify that the X stands for X-Men? But it is a great movie, unlike the previous one. And I wanted to see it with my friends. However, that day I had the SAT 2s. The SAT 2s are like the SATs, but even longer and more excruciating. And my dumbass friends ended up going without me. Coordinating movie times was a lot harder without smartphones. Anyways, I decided that when I was done with that awful task, I was going to see it anyways. I went on my own. It was a packed theater, and the child sitting next to me had these annoying light-up shoes that he kept kicking his seat and making them light up, and I just wanted to grab him and strangle him and hold him. But anyway, the movie is spectacular, and that moment, the moment that really grabbed me was the moment when one of the X-Men, I think it's Kitty Pryde, is ejected out of the X-Jet, or I forget the name of the jet, and is just falling through the air. I'm not sure if I'd really seen something like that before, where just someone's just frantically free falling in the sky, and it really captured me, and the rest of the audience was also on the edge of their seats. Of course, Nightcrawler teleports and saves the day, but it's a really tense scene. It's not too often that I go into a movie blind in that I don't know anything about the movie, not blind literally, that wouldn't make any sense for me. But every once in a while, I'll see a drama or indie movie I know nothing about, and but it's not too often I go to a genre movie without any background, just because I like to keep up to date with movie news. But that's what happened to me with Ex Machina, and it just blew me away. I had no idea what was coming, and made the movie that already has lots of twists and turns that much more exciting. I would highly suggest you try seeing that movie because it's excellent. But also try watching movies that you don't know anything about once in a while, and you probably will enjoy them more. Next movie experience was when I was living in South America. I was living in South America for a while, and I knew I was going to miss movies a lot. Luckily, I was placed in a city that did have a movie theater, but almost all the movies were exclusively in Spanish, and I'd only been in the country for about 3 months. My Spanish wasn't very good when the first Avengers movie came out, but I was up for it. My friends and I went, and I was really impressed at, even though a lot of language went over my head, how enjoyable that whole experience still was. How just by understanding the tone of voice and audience reactions, I was able to comprehend more of the movie than I thought I was able to. I only had to ask my friend to translate one line when Thor talks about Loki and says he's adopted. And of course, I laughed like 2 minutes after everyone else had already finished laughing. The last experience that comes to mind when I think of movie theaters was in high school. My friends and I would go to the movies. We were probably pretty obnoxious at times, like a lot of high school boys are. I naturally talk loudly, and we like to giggle and laugh and make comments how hot the babes are during a movie or something like that. However, one time we were doing our thing, and there were two older couples in front of us, and we were talking and fooling around, and one of the older guys gets, probably older in his 60s guy gets up and tells us Just shut up. I tell him it's only the commercial. It wasn't even the trailer yet. It was just the commercials before the trailers. So I told him that it was still just the commercials. And he started getting really upset. And one of my friends, of course, started egging him on. We're allowed to talk. What are you going to do about it? And then he just started exploding. I think steam started coming out of his ears. His wife literally had to pull him back before he tried to climb over the seats to strangle my friend. His wife forced them to move to a different row, so they were far from us. And we were also pretty quiet after that too. But the thing was, we were waiting for the movie Anchorman to start. So now that I'm older and looking back on that, fuck that guy. We were watching Anchorman, so yeah, don't take it so seriously. Anyways, I miss movie theaters. I hope the industry doesn't die before we get back to cinemas. I don't know, maybe I'll start building some drive-ins, but thanks for watching, and share and subscribe if you want more videos like this. Thank you.